at EIJRP. So, welcome everybody. I guess what we can go over first is questions, whatever, if anybody has any questions about anything about the servers, future updates, stuff like that. I'm gonna make a chat where you guys can just ask in the general chat for now, for anybody that has any questions about those types of things, or thinks that we should improve stuff. This is really this is anybody's chance to talk about or openly discuss things that they look forward with in the server. So those are one of them. What do you guys want to start off with? Like I said, we can start with questions. So I do have a question. Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's go.
What were you gonna say?
What?
And what were you gonna say?
Oh, no, nothing. I was just, I mean, I'm fine with starting off with questions. That's fine. So, there's not many people that might have questions in here, but
I would hope so. There's a lot of things to talk about. Maybe ask questions about the background of the server. I don't know. Yeah, I agree. Ask away.
While they're doing that, I'm gonna go get a drink.
Okay. How big is your 5 head? Very funny. I don't have a 5 head, but thank you. How did you get inspired to open EIJRP? Okay, so I mean, there's a whole big story about it, and I posted it in the what server, Epic Gaming server, for those who do know. It's basically in my introduction, and I talk about it, and I talk about how I opened it. Really, from the start on how I even got introduced into Discord servers is I was in this run Xbox group post role playing in it, and this guy said, "Oh, you're a really good role player. So you do want to join this Discord server?" I said yes. Okay, they invite me, and I log into my Discord voice crack. I log into my Discord account that I already had, and basically I joined. I was in there for a couple months, and then me and these other group of people were talking about leaving and making our own server. So then that's when I started. I don't know how it's been so long, and I wish I had more details and more things to talk about it, but there, I was the head of it, obviously, head of all the servers that I ran and that we were a part of. So when we did our first server, obviously went to crap. We did a second. I think we did 3 servers. We lost people. They made their own servers, all that type of stuff. And then I say my second to last server. So one before my last server, I gave this guy ownership of the server, and so he can make like a recruitment bot or stuff like that, and then he got mad and he just took the server. So then I talked to him not too long ago, but I mean, I'm really not that bad about it now. I had 100 members, but 100 members to us was a lot. But then we were this one guy I was talking to about the servers and whatever. He was like, "Oh, well, I had this other server, here's ownership, I'll give you ownership," because I knew the other server was going to go to shit, excuse my language, but I knew the other servers were going to go to crap or whatever. So I made the server, transfer your ownership, because he says I know how to do everything. So I did it. The server ran for a good, I want to say probably 5 months, maybe less, because the servers didn't last for good periods. They were just kind of like in and go. I really wish that I went back and I actually took notes and I actually knew how I was recruiting people. I think I know now, but because it was mainly, I only did Xbox, because the numbers that I was getting, they were so good. Like they were so good. They were so constant. So, I mean, I wish I kind of took notes about that type of stuff, but yeah. And then the last server that I made, guy wanted ownership back. And again, I was not as experienced as I am now. So if someone would ask the ownership of the EIGRP, I'd be like, no. But then he was like, oh, I want EIGRP owner, or it was not called EIGRP back then. It's called something else. I don't know what the name was. I don't remember. But he was like, I want ownership back at the server because you're gonna make it go to shit. It's already inactive. All this other stuff. Be advised, I was the only person that was ever active in the server. I was the only person that ever got members in that server. I was the only person that hosted role plays, and I was the founder basically. And yeah, so that night that we were arguing, I eventually gave him ownership back, pieced the server to shards, if you know what I mean, and then left and made San Andreas Endless Roleplay, which was California Endless Roleplay, which is now Endless Injustice Roleplay. So it's just really what really inspired me wise is one is saying bringing people together and being able to have people talk with each other, have people to have fun, but also in a strict environment. That's what I talk to myself all about, like all the time. Like people are like, Chris, you're so strict, you're so this, but like I want to have a strict environment but have it fun, you know what I mean? Because I don't want it to be too fun and too unstrict at the point that people are playing around too much. I wanted to have it so you can play around, but it has to be strict. And I think that's what a lot of us kind of miss when I talk about or when we host role plays and stuff. So I'm looking forward to trying to do that a lot more often. But it's just, making a bigger community where everybody's accepted no matter who you are. Obviously your age, obviously. And then, being able to just extend it over the world, really. But I guess that answers your question, hopefully. What are you most excited? Yes.
Before we go to the next one, that question often pops up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So to build off that one and give a question that never pops up before we go on to David's question is, what was the reason for the 3 name changes of the server?
Okay. So my first name, obviously, it was just there. And a lot of people, whenever I got a lot of hate for my first name, which was against San Andreas Endless Roleplay, and they're like, oh, you're a knockoff of some server. I mean, they would even say you're a knockoff of some servers, or you're this and this and this. And I really didn't like that attention. And then also we thought it would be needed because whenever we changed to San Andreas to California, we changed our departments. So it was like California Highway Patrol, this and that, and all that type of stuff. So we changed our departments. And then probably one of the main reasons why we switched back, or we talked about switching back, was because of our future for 5M. How when we were looking for stuff for 5M, we weren't able to find it, and that was like way back then. Like we tried to start 5M, but it was like impossible. But it was way back then we were looking for 5M stuff, and we weren't finding stuff for California. So we're like, oh, we should just change this name. And we thought about, I was playing, it was like one of my old, I want to say co-founders, like an old guy. Not old, he was not old in age, but he was an older person that used to be in the server on Xbox. He wasn't like he didn't originally found the server, like I want to say Tyler. Tyler had to kind of work his way up, but he's definitely one of the founders. But yeah, so then mainly I want to say it was because of 5M, and then also I think it's better than California. I kind of like it. To me, for right now, I like it because it's based off a lot of different things. You can't be like, oh, well, California Endless Roleplay. Endless Injustice Roleplay, it does inspire a lot of different things that could happen. Because if you're just California Endless Roleplay, imagine be like, oh, well, California Endless Network or California Endless Red Dead. Like, that sounds stupid, So, I mean, basically basing our network around just Endless Injustice, it just makes it way better. And even people now are like, oh, you're a knockoff of IJ. Whenever we made our name, which is Injustice Roleplay, which is another server, they're like, oh, you're a knockoff of that server. Whenever we made our name, we never even thought a bit about Injustice Roleplay. So I just thought that was funny. But we just thought about our name during a COD match, me and the old co-founder, and it just boomed, and we voted on it, I'm pretty sure, and then it was a thing. And then also it sticks out because our old logos, like it had California Endless Roleplay. I want to stick some of the logos in the main chat if anybody wants to see, but we did have logos, but again, our logo compared to then and back then is completely terrible. Like I rather a logo now over any other logo.
Gotcha. And then one last thing, so we can go on to the next question. Would this current name be up for change at any point, or is this like
No,
final?
no, this will forever be the name. I will not planning to change this name anytime soon. And I don't even know if we did try to change the name. I don't know what it would be to. I think we put a lot of effort into our logos, getting our name out there. It would just be unneeded to change our name. I mean, it just, for some people, CERP, that really slithered off people's tongue, but also I think EIJRP, if you get to like hang of it as saying it, gets off your tongue as well. But and also if you're saying stuff again, endless injustice roleplay, California endless roleplay, I mean it's two differences. And yeah, like I said, I don't plan to change anytime soon. I've invested a lot in our logo, our advertisement, and all that other types of stuff, and to change now is not the game plan whatsoever.
Yeah. Anyways, I'll take over giving you the questions, and then you can just answer. Then I'll add on if I have an answer for one of them.
Okay.
So, anyways, on to David. What are you most excited for with the future of EIJRP?
So really it's kind of basing off what I excited about is really growing our platforms, because we have Xbox, we have role plays, all these other types of stuff, but I feel like I really want EIGRP to be more than just role play, but to be other servers like other people have mentioned, Red Dead, Minecraft, all those other types of servers, extending out to those platforms, extending out to just those servers, because what we want to be as a community, it makes it better for us so we can connect with more people. So I'm really, what I'm excited about is just the new changes that we might have for branch, or things that are soon to be added. Mainly it's going to be growing our platforms at the moment, so just making them bigger so I don't have to worry about them as much as I am now.
Okay. And I guess an answer I was going to say until I saw another person's question, so I'll answer it when we get to that person's question. So, I guess I'll just wait till then, but I do have something to say, and I'll answer it in a few when we get to the more on topic part about it.
Okay.
Anyways, next question. Would you like to expand other games for RP like RDR2 in the future of EIJRP?
Yes. As I mentioned, whenever I said I was excited about certain platforms, that again was one of them. But whenever I speak upon other platforms, I don't want to mainly just be based around roleplay. For Red Dead, I do think that a lot of people are in the roleplay category for Red Dead, so I would base it around that. But for Minecraft, like a gaming hub, those types of things, I think would be based around.
Is much of a
Oh yeah, no.
Game,
I think those would be based around more just having fun, getting to know people, extending out to people, those types of things.
Yeah, so I mean, I didn't realize this question. I was looking at someone else's question, but I guess I'll answer for this one. There may or may not be the server of a game you named in development, but I can't guarantee a time for anything. Only because I've been in a few roleplay servers for Red Dead just to check them out, and they're all very different from each other. None of them are like exactly the same. Like if you go to a GTA RP server, they're all generally the same layout or format. But Red Dead is just kind of like a free for all. So, it definitely would not be the same format as how we have the current servers set up, just due to the differentness, if that's the word,
Yeah.
of the game, from compared to GTA. So don't expect it like anytime soon, but also don't expect it like years from now. So, you know.
Yeah, I definitely think that
Anyways,
it's like platforms like that and games like that definitely serve a different aspect within the server, because it's really different. Like 5M to me, it's a really different console, and it's really hard for me to handle in a way because it's something different, like I said. and I've just never experienced something like it. Like, I mean, it's not like anything I can't handle, but it's more like the deving, the like more in-depth stuff and all that types of stuff. Like, I wish I know and I learned more of that stuff, because as recently, many of you guys know, we lost our old head of 5M. So me as a founder, not able to like cover up for his loss, I have to invest a lot more money within 5M and its development and other stuff, because I'm not able to do those types of things myself. So I'm allowing, and I'm making it so other people, and then paying other people to do those types of things. Where if I knew how to dev, and I knew how to add cards, and I know how to do all this other stuff, and I know how to do it, then I shouldn't have to be paying people to do it for me, you know? So that's why 5M is more of a challenge for me, just in general. Other people that have been experiencing it, it's not. But I feel like as we go on to having 5M and it grows as a platform, I feel like it can get easier, and I feel like I can learn more. Just as now I'm just trying to lay back and let Dev do what he's trying to do, or the BOD. I do plan to learn more about the platform and learn how to dev more and stuff like that, because I feel like if I'm there and I'm a founder, I think I should know every concept of that server, that platform, because no one should know or be able to outlearn me, you know what I mean? Because I feel like if I'm there, then I should know more than that person knows. I shouldn't be, oh, that person knows way more than me, or that person knows a lot more. I mean, there's always going to be someone that's going to be able to one up you, but I just feel like if I knew general information, I knew general things about that platform, then it would be more better for me as a founder, because I would know about that platform. I would know how to handle that platform whenever we lose something or we lose somebody, or I wouldn't have to invest so much money in developers or devs and all this other types of stuff in order to constantly keep the server going. I can just buy those types of things, import them into the server, and then it's that, you know? But I definitely think other servers are going to be, it's going to be very, I don't know what the word is. It's going to be very complicated in order for us to be able to handle and adjust to.
Yeah. Okay, so the next question. Would you rather have a big role play with a lot of people, or a small role play with a smaller amount of people but higher quality role play?
So with that, I rather smaller role plays, because smaller role plays you can get more fun out of. If you're sitting there and you're sitting there and you're role playing 24/7, right? Or you're role playing with 20 people in the session, 20 plus for 24 hours, but you have fail RP every second. It's not fun, especially for founders, staff, etc. They have to handle those situations constantly, instead of, oh, well, I have high quality role play. I'm constantly getting creative scenes. I'm constantly getting stuff for my stream. I'm constantly getting stuff for my TikTok, my social medias in order to post. But instead, you're joining a 20 plus session that involves around 20 different people fail RPing 24/7. So definitely it's going to be quality over quantity any day.
Okay. And then another one. What are your plans for 5M? I don't know if you kind of answered that in the question before last.
I can go over it. So my plans for 5M is, we've talked about this before, and I talked about this with my old co-founder that just recently left, that what I really want is to have a public server and a whitelisted server. So a private server where you can't double clan, just like our main servers, so you can't be in other roleplay servers. And the reason why, because I want people to, reason why I want it like that is I want people to be able to experience the same concept of 5M and R5M, because if you can experience a public server and then compared to the private server, then it would lure more people into it. I mainly wanted to do one platform, but also another reason why I wanted to do both is because if we mainly lure off of our donations from the public server, then we don't have to rely on myself in order to provide for equipment or other needs that might be for the server. We could be just mainly going off of donations within the server, and that it just can be constant. It can just be constant, because within the public server, if we're investing money and then we get money out of it for the server, then it'd just be better. Because if we have packs that people want to buy, we have these things we have to buy and this other types of stuff, and if it's not our main console, or it's not our main platform, like it's not our main 5M platform, then we won't be worried about, oh well, there's GTA sports cars, or there's police cars that are sports and whatever and all this other types of stuff, and people won't like that for the members that I currently have. But if I make it so there's a private server, so those members that don't like that type of stuff would be in the private server, so a more realistic advantage compared to the people that don't want to be in such a more realistic environment, they would be in the public server and be paying for packs and all that types of stuff for the public server, which would again make it so it would improve the things that are in the private server and the public server and EIGRP as a whole, because we'd be getting donations constantly by utilizing certain packs and perks.
Okay. And then I don't know if you want to answer this. I don't know the answer myself, but why did the co-founder leave?
Okay, so as some of you guys know, I'm not going to list my age in here, but compared to a lot of other people in here, I'm extremely younger, and Tyler himself was older, as in he was an older co-founder, and that just means people extend on with their lives. Tyler didn't leave because he was inactive. I didn't kick him because he was inactive, or any of that type of stuff that people make assumptions about. Tyler just generally left because he was going into the military for training, and for a decent amount of time, so it just wouldn't make time for EIGRP. So therefore, there would be no point of him holding that position if he was not able to withhold the responsibilities within that position. So he left.
Okay, I mean, fair. Then what further opportunities are you planning to make to EI? What further opportunities are you planning to make to EIGRP? Example, new departments, subdivisions, systems, etc.
So I'm saying, I'm sure there's a lot of things that we can be more invested in, and there's a lot of things that we can add. But improving people's experience and doing things that will lure members into the server, and also gang members, not just to roleplay, but as a community, getting to know other people. There's a lot of different things that I think would be great for the server, and a lot of different things that I expect members to, suggest, so those things can get added. I don't have any opportunities or anything that I'm looking forward to now. Like I said, again, I'm just looking forward to gain more members, gain more active members. I do have a few goals that staff know that I have and I want to succeed in. But as of right now, I don't. Just otherwise than making sure that people have a safe environment to roleplay in and people that they can talk to 24/7. I really don't have any other plans for the server as of now. I mean, I have plenty of plans, but as of right now, if we're talking right now, I don't. But further on, I do have plenty of plans. I just can't list them generally off the top of my head, and they would be beneficial for more of the server than systems or new departments or stuff like that wise. I mean, if you guys are not already aware, there's department staff, which is like internal affairs, and they are newer. But other than that, I don't plan to add any new subdivisions or any of that, unless, again, people have suggested it and we speak over it and stuff like that.
Okay. And the next question after that is there going to be a roleplay server for RDR2? Like I already said, yes, but time frame unknown. So, anyways, the next question that we can all talk about, or at least Chris, do you feel like you've met your expectations for the server?
Absolutely not. And one reason why I say that is because there's a lot of things that I look forward to within EIGRP, and we are at a good standpoint right now, but we can always be better. So that's what I look forward to every day, and every time that we talk about it in our staff meetings and stuff like that, there is a lot that I'm going to start looking forward, and a lot of goals and expectations that I want to meet. And in order to meet those, there's a lot of things that we need to put in place in order for those to be meet. So as of now, no, I've never ever met my expectation. If we're talking about just right now, I would say it's not bad. But would I prefer more? Would I prefer more of certain stuff? Of course. But can I get that right now? Probably not.
Okay. Then that's not a question, but then hold on. Okay, so someone just messaged me. Is the Xbox server expectation up?
Is it of
That
what?
like
Is it of?
I up,
Is it
no,
up?
up, like UP.
Okay,
Yeah, up.
so again, with even the Xbox server, it's not up. It's the expectations are extremely well. Not my expectations for the Xbox server is not extremely low. The activity and the member count and the staff count is extremely low. And what I've done things to work on that, and I'm continuing to do things to work on that, and it's improving. One thing I have the members that are in that server currently. I just need the staff team. So my expectations for the Xbox are extremely high as of now, because the Xbox server has always been our main platform. So in order this, so me seeing it die and be a little more inactive than other servers and other platforms is not very ideal whatsoever. But yes, it is a server that it will be work in progress, and as long as the longer the process, I'm sure the longer the better it will be, you know. But just looking for more members, more staff, because if we can improve again our staff count, then we can improve daily role plays, because that's the problem is right now, because we're reaching good numbers, but we're not having people host role plays.
Gotcha. Hopefully that answered your question. Anyways, let me go back to the original question, which was, as the departments are developing, how do you plan to help them grow and maintain a level of activity, and then especially fire?
What is the question again? My apologies.
You're fine. It is, as the departments are developing, how do you plan to help them grow and maintain a level of activity, especially fire?
So there's a lot of ways that we can improve these certain things, and again, with the introduction of department staff, it will be one of the ways in order to we're ensuring that we're checking up on these departments daily and stuff like that. Again, department staff is fairly new. It's not new to EIGRP as a whole, but it is currently new as of now, and what the responsibilities are. So how do I expect to get them more active? With department staff mainly, and ensuring that we're keeping up to par with what we are promising to meet, such as ride-alongs, daily training, or any of those types of things that department heads, say they're going to meet, or promotions, stuff like that. I think that is another way, ensuring that the department heads are actually also interacting with their department heads and also promoting their department, because department heads play a part in this as well. In a lot of, because we allow our department heads to just run their department as is, run their department how they want to run their department with certain boundaries. So with that being said, I do believe that there are certain things that could be improved, but as of right now, do we have the manpower to enforce those certain things? We do in a way, but we don't, because I definitely think that if we had more department staff, or if we had more people to be able to be or act as a department administrator, then I definitely think it would be a different story, because they would be able to check up on departments daily. They would be able to take over departments because they have experience in those departments, stuff like that. Because as of now, you have people that are in positions that may not be as active. They're going to get removed, and you need people to take over those departments and other types of stuff. So I definitely think it just goes and it revolves around us improving department staff wise, and also improving the people that we have in higher positions, so like our supervisors and stuff like that. Also, it also does talk about how your department heads allow you to do certain things. So if I'm a department head and I allow my supervisors to do this certain thing, but they're not allowed to do that certain thing, I'm only putting more work on myself, the department head, because I'm not allowing my supervisors or my sergeants or my this and that to do these certain things. Instead, I'm allowing me and myself to have more work. So I believe that more departments should be morally more open about allowing their supervisors and other peoples in higher positions in order to help them out with running the department, or again, be more active yourself and ensure that you can operate the department at its full procedures needed. Don't just sit there and operate the department low as behold and expect the most out of it, because that's not going to happen.
Okay. And I'm not quite sure what this next question means, but are you planning on adding a new team for the community?
A new team?
A new team.
Whoever made that question, if you can elaborate. I mean, there is a couple things that I've talked about and I generally want, not a new team wise though. What I really want for our current teams that we currently have, because we have all types of teams, like we're all up and down in rankings and roles. So I feel like we should just utilize the current rankings and rules that we have. And as like I said, as further on, that's something that I'm looking forward to, is ensuring that we get more people in order to fill these positions and get more people in these positions that are qualified, such as mental health team. Mental health team goes a long way within just a server as well. And I don't want it to just be an overlooked role, but it does experience a lot within that server. So it is very interesting.
Okay. And I'm sorry, I'm going to jump to a different question that's kind of farther down the list just because it caught my eye. We've already gone over the question it's referring to. And it says, you say quality over quantity, then why not do a mass kick for inactive people on the Xbox side?
Okay, so we're way step ahead of you, bud. This is something we've been talking about. This is something we've been talking about for a few times, and I brought this up already. What I am planning to do, and there is, again, when I talk about further on opportunities for EIGRP and things that I'm looking forward to, this is one of them. But again, it's going to take a lot more power than what we think. So we were planning to really do it in all servers and everything is around, because we used to do this a lot, but mass remove people from main servers, interview servers, CAD, Zello, all that type of stuff within a certain time period. And we do that every certain time period, and we constantly do it. But again, would be wanting to do that, I wanted to meet a certain standard in order to make sure we can do that. It's going to always be quality over quantity for me. But again, I'm not going to sit there and remove hella members if I know I'm not going to get them back. But I wanted to remove, whenever I talked about it in our staff meeting, I wanted to remove members under the impression of getting members back that are going to be more active than the previous members. Because I'm going to bring it up now, but I did have a certain amount of members I wanted to get in weekly, and a lot of people mentioned to me, oh, this is unrealistic, this is this and this is that. But if we already average around that, there would be no reason why we shouldn't be able to get to that, and it would be of all platforms. So I talked about it, and I talked about wanting to remove inactive people, and my time period of doing it was 5 months. So we do it, like, say we do it today, and then we do it in another 5 months. So what I wanted to do, so say we removed 500 members, I want to get at least, if we get 500 members back, but half of them are active, that's a success, So what I talked about is getting 150 members per day. Again, that sounds like a big number, but 150 members per day. Remember, there's 24 hours in a day, there's 60 seconds in a minute, so I think it's very reasonable. A lot of people might argue against it, but 150 members per day, that is 1,050 members per week. And again, people, like I mentioned in when I was talking about it, it's a big paragraph of what I talked about it. But again, I talked about how we will need more interviewers, more advertising and stuff like that to fulfill those roles and rankings. And that's, again, the reason why I would want to wait on something like that, because I want positions to be able to be filled. So whenever I do certain stuff like that, I don't have to worry about, oh, well, what am I going to bounce off of? What am I going to do this? What am I going to do that? That type of stuff. I don't want to have to worry about so many other things, or things that are going to come to become a problem. And I had to come up with a solution. I also talked about more about it, and what I'm reading right now is just talking about how doing it every 5 months, And how we would do it is we use Discord Prum. So with Discord Prum, you can do it to 7 to 30 days of them not seeing them online. And we would do this in the interview server, like I said, the main servers, basically in all EIGRP servers. And again, to improve those numbers, we have to get what I think is a realistic number in order to improve that. So again, like I said, if we remove 500 members within a span of 1 month or 1 day, then we should be able to get all those members back, at least more active, or get those members back in general. I don't want to remove 500 plus members and not get them back, you know, but I'm not saying get a 500 inactive members back. I'm saying getting 500 active members back. So, and there is a chance that we remove more than 500 members. That's why I spoke about, hold up, someone's DMing me. That's why I spoke about, that's why I spoke upon getting 1,000 members per week, because it'd be very interesting in order to improve that number overall.
Okay, so real quick, there's about 15 minutes left in this. So whatever the next question that
We
is
can
sent in
extend
the
it
chat is.
if you would
Yeah,
like.
but I mean, it's almost 7 o'clock.
Oh
and,
well.
like, I kind of want to get the themed roleplay started because I aimed for 7 to 7:15-ish to have this over. So there's about 15, 30 minutes left. And with the amount of questions, it'll probably take up 30 minutes max. So
okay, well then let's go quick then.
let's stop right here at Dante for a minute. And then if we still have a little bit of time after that, then we'll take a few more.
Is there anything else you want to go over then, or is there other topics you would like to go over?
Because I mean, really, we're pretty much talking about the future of the server with these questions. So
then, why do you want to end at Dante then?
Well, I'm just saying, with the amount of time and how much you're talking with the questions, not saying that that's bad. Like, that's pretty much the time allotted for the whole thing.
Okay.
I'm just seeing how much time. We'll see how much time we have left when we get to his question that he sent, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
So, okay. Back up to the top. Will you be... Oh, I lost it. Where'd it go? I lost it. 1 second. Will you be adding an economy to the server?
Okay, so economy is already in the works. It's already a thing. Again, what I've talked about, and I talked about a lot of previous servers, I don't want to release a server that is not completely made, or is not made to EIGRP standards, to out and into the public. We've released the economy server before, and it's been a thing before, but again, it's not been utilized as much. So being able to have people and a big group of people in order to utilize that server, and actually more people being involved, that is our main priority, instead of just saying, oh well, here, go join the economy server, and just giving them a slap on the wrist and just letting them be in the economy server, not having people hosting the economy server and stuff like that. Because a lot of people that are not in the main servers, if you don't know how that works, we have roleplay server 1 and roleplay server 2. Roleplay server 1 is non-economy, and then roleplay server 2 is economy. So that is something we are working towards. So we do have it. It is a server. It's been a server for a long time, but it's just in the works.
Okay. And then after that, you mentioned the big sessions are full of FRP. How do you plan to deal with that so that RP can be of higher quality?
I never said that bigger sessions, or I never said that big sessions contain with FRP, but normally bigger sessions do. How we've talked about and how I plan. Okay, sorry. How I plan to ensure that is improved, as I've talked about it already, and I've already released problems and solutions to those problems, and that is our field training script, which is already out. And then also I talked to the civilian director about ensuring that there's trainings, which we've already talked about in the civilian meeting, about how we're going to start implementing those within roleplay. And civilian meetings and briefings, and all types of briefings before roleplay started, and those are all planned to improve EIGRP's roleplay, because you're going over a lot of things that training doesn't go over, because a lot of people don't know we don't have training. And again, just like the economy server, I'm not going to release an unprogressed server to the public if I know I can't handle it. If I know we can't handle it. Personally, if we're going to have servers like the training server, I need trainings happening every day. There can't be one day that I'm missing that there's no training, because we're constantly going to get members whether or not we like it or not. So therefore, we're not going to have a training server. We're not going to have people wait in an interview server and then have a training server just for them to extensively wait. I'd rather have alternatives such as field training, briefings, those types of things, in order to extend people's role play experience. So we've talked about that types of stuff, and that is with in-game training without the training server.
Okay. I mean, makes sense. Because both times we've tried opening the training server again, people are like, "Yeah, I'll be a trainer," and then they don't be a trainer.
Exactly.
So, okay, hold on. I gotta scroll up to the top again. Do you plan on adding more to the community with the donations you receive, like a sound team to make a soundtrack for EIJRP?
So, again, what are plans with the EIJRP donations are just to improve within EIJRP. Other teams and other things that we might have listed, or other things that are wants more than our needs currently within the server, won't be talked about and won't be brought to our attention until our needs are met completely. So that can be something we can look forward to, but as of now, it's just something that is not in our category whatsoever.
I'm maybe this is just me, but I'm not quite too sure what he means by soundtrack for EIJRP. What does he mean by that?
Maybe promotional videos.
Oh, okay. I mean, interesting, I guess. So, I'm just gonna completely skip over that.
Oh no, you should go over it. Please definitely go over it, because I would love to just gas Richard. Please.
When will Xbox not be dead again?
Okay, so Xbox server has been slightly inactive for a long time, and I completely agree with that statement whatsoever. But again, I love when people make comments about it, but they do nothing but retire whenever they have nothing to contribute towards the server. Have I done things in order to proceed on and to make the server active? Of course. And has it been working? Of course.
Richard knew fully well what was coming with that question.
I don't even know why he even spoke up.
Do you believe you have the possibility to have the server you would like before 2024?
I think that is definitely a reasonable time. I'm very surprised that you would even extend it out to that. I'm surprised that you think that we're going to be along that time, and I'm not saying that we're not, but I mean, I'm glad that you have faith in us. But I definitely think that it would be close to it. I definitely think that. Yes, maybe.
Okay. Then how many people are allowed to join 1RP? And I'll just answer that for the good of the group here. I don't know about 5M. Not quite sure what the capacity is on that.
64.
But any regular GTA session is 30 people. So 30 people are allowed to join. After that, there's then a queue for people. So once one person leaves, the next person joins. If it comes down to that, and if that gets too much, I would say an RP session 2 opens up. But I mean, 30 people are allowed, just not because of our rules, but just the game mechanics allow 30 people at once. Then another one from Richard. Can there be a tournament for the new Modern Warfare 2?
I think that is something that we can definitely look forward to. Like we've mentioned, more trying to bond with the community is going to be one of our main priorities. So yes and no, but definitely think that including more events within the community hub should be definitely one of our things that we should focus on.
Okay. And past all this talking, would it be possible for there to, as we're talking about this, would it be possible for there to be more community events and cross-platform events to help forge relationships between members across the board?
Yes, of course. And like was explained, I definitely think that there should be more events in order to engage with each other more often than we normally do. So, yes, of course.
Okay. And then he sent the same question again. Then on to Dante now. So we still do have time. And Dante's question was, how did you get your server so popular?
So I don't normally, maybe people say that it is popular, but I don't consider EIGRP as popular as normal other servers. Um, really, if you think it is, I just guess really Discord and online things. The funny thing is, EIGRP's never actually posted a promotional video, which is actually officially, and it works as of now. But EIGRP's never actually posted a official promotional video, so really I don't consider it popular. I just think that it has a grown significant amount of members. Definitely think it could be more popular. I think our name it's out there, but if you go to a different server, they probably wouldn't hear about us. So I rather us have our name more around than just our number count, because our number count could mean anything.
Okay. I mean, so now people can post more questions if they have any questions. Since we do have some time.
Are you gonna go for Richards? Boy, bruh, what is the point? What would be the point? The standards when over. What would be the point of the standards? I'm guessing when over 80 members have been fully inactive for over 4 months to a year. Let's be honest, you're not getting 80% of your members back, and new activity checks was only 28 out of 200. So again, with our new system, what I've talked about would improve that number, and we would be more enforcing our activity than inactivity. As of now, I do not have the manpower to sit there and remove. I mean, I could do it myself, of course. I can remove every single person, but if I know that I can get more staff and then do it, or if I need to meet certain stuff then do it, then I'd be perfectly fine. I'm surprised that you say that we were not able to get 80% of our members back, but I think I'm very confident that we can. Someone said that understand civilian briefings at the beginning, but what if people join late? I can understand that, but also maybe we can go over something that doesn't have to just involve in-game training at the moment, or doesn't involve the beginning, but also involve something that we send them throughout roleplay, so throughout they join. Maybe again, those are just ideas that pop up. They can always change and stuff, but I'm sure there's different things that we can come up with and talk about in order to improve the quality of roleplay for other members.
Okay. How can new members help promote the server if they have to wait to become a part of the media team?
So I feel like there's a lot of different ways not to only promote EIGRP as media team, but I feel like if you got higher up position permission, then you would be able to do it as well. Media team is somebody that has to constantly post, but if you're doing it for a one-time thing or just a few days, then I feel like it would be only necessary if a higher up permission.
Okay. Sorry, just preoccupied. Do you believe that you are a good founder for your community?
I think so, but other people might debate the question, of course. Obviously, it's me, myself, I would. I do think that sometimes in the past I did lack certain things, but as we grow into the community even more, it's even better that we be able to improve those things. Like I said, a lot of people think different about who and how I do things, but only if you get to know me. If you know me, it's pretty easy. I don't make everything too hard. Everything just goes into a certain order. I do certain things a certain way, stuff like that. So as of now, I think I'm great, but back then, maybe not so well.
Yeah. And then What if we start a system where a templated message will be sent out every so often to remind civs of the certain civ rules and such?
So we currently already have something like that. It's an inactivity. I think that's something that you would more. I think you should morally direct that towards the civilian director. As I spoke more about that, I think that'd be a great idea in order to enforce something like that more often.
And then, do you consider your community as a family of yours?
Yes, because I do talk to a lot of different people. Hold up. I do talk to a lot of different people that I do consider friends. So I think EIGRP has became that one family that I can look forward to.
Okay. You ever host heists for fun?
Will I ever do it? No, because I'm never short on money, but others might.
I mean, it's not really something I feel that we would, I don't know how to put it into words. It's not something that would be like an event. Like if someone wanted to do a heist and you were like an option for them to have them help, I guess they might come to you about it, but it's not something we really do to boost activity because, no offense to anyone, some people are not the best at heists at others. So like, personally me, I would pick other people to do a heist with over others to get it done quicker and make more money. So,
Okay, last few
it's not,
questions.
yeah.
If a new member has experience of being a staff and staff member in other different or in any other community, and they left, can they immediately apply for staff? As of now, EIGRP does not have a reapply date or does not have a standard time that you have to be in the server in order to apply. So yes. Are you him? Yes, I'm him. Thank you. And that concludes our questions for today.
Really? Okay.
Sure
Nice.
does. Well, I guess I'll end this. Thank you again for everybody that has decided to come out here and listen to us speak and answer your guys' questions and concerns. I do look for future podcasts like this, but also answering more of your questions or talking about situations or talking about how I'm going to handle this or how we're going to handle this, and also more of your concerns. EIGRP, again, I want to become more of a family. So in order for people to be able to voice their opinion about certain things, should be more it should be something that's more out in the open for people instead of just being sit there and like, oh well, I don't think I want to talk about this, I don't think I want to talk about this. But like I said, being open about those certain things, and especially towards me or anybody that is higher in the BOD team. Again, we do plan to improve certain things that you guys have listed, and I'm glad that I can go over everything that everybody has listed, and hopefully I did answer everybody's questions efficiently and the best way possible with the best information. But if Dom, you don't have to add anything.
Yeah, no, I got nothing.
Okay. Again, thank you guys for joining today. Thank you for taking it out of your time. Again, I do plan to look upon everybody's updates and suggestions or concerns in order to ensure that EIGRP is the best for not just anybody, but for everyone. I guess that was kind of cringe to say, but that's it from me. I hope you guys have a great night, and you guys see ya.